Good morning. Thank you for joining VirtualPBX admin training. If you're a vConf customer, we no longer have the live trainings available. However, we do have the recorded one under our vConf support pages. So mouse over support, click on vConf support, which takes you to this page. And if you scroll down, the advanced admin training is the complete training for our customers. For our vConf customers, pardon me. And if you scroll further down, you will see the various guides we have for features and devices for vConf. Likewise, for our customers, under support, the new user training, that is the complete training video. And then further down, we have the various guides for features and devices. All right, so go ahead and get to the login page. So to log in to you need your email address, you need your password, and then your account name. Now, the main thing to remember is your email address and password are case sensitive. And that can be a problem, especially for the email address, because sometimes when you first get to a browser, it capitalizes your first name. And you click sign in, and you'll be taken to the dashboard. Now, the first time you log in for a new sign up, it's going to take you through the wizard, which is going to cover some basic information about how to navigate through the account information and whatnot. And then you can close that window, and you should get to the dashboard. If not, you can always go over to this 3 horizontal line icon. We sometimes refer to that as the hamburger menu. And you can click on dashboard, which is where we're going to start. Down below that is queues. So if you make use of ACD queues, that's where you would go to set those up. Below that is blacklists. This is where you would set up rules to block phone numbers or particular caller IDs from connecting to your system. The faxes there is for the fax manager. This lets you get to any fax box on your system. Recordings is a link to the call recordings if you're making use of them. The user portal, this is what every user has access to. Basically, this allows you to view your own voicemails, set up your call recording, and manage any conferencing you might have. Voicemails, that goes to the voicemail manager, so you can get to any voicemail box. And then lastly, webhooks. This is for making use of APIs to connect to Dash. All right. But here we are on the dashboard. We have users, and I refer to these as fully featured users. These are people who make and receive phone calls. They can use a variety of devices. To make calls, they're going to be using VoIP phones, so soft phone, or a physical VoIP phone, or even the web phone that we have available on Dash. They can also receive calls on their cell phone or on landlines, if they so desire. Among the features they have things like hot desking, conferencing. They can have their own fax box, call forwarding, and some others. Below them, we have agents. Agents are strictly for ACD queues. These are people who receive calls. They typically do not make outbound calls. They are restricted to VoIP phones only. So the web phone, soft phone, or physical VoIP phone. They cannot use cell phones or landlines with an ACD queue at the current time. And they have basically no features to speak of. Adding users or agents will increase your bill. Users increases your bill by a larger amount, depends on your plan. Agents, I believe it's either $4.99 or $9.99 each, and that has to do since they are tied with ACD queues. ACD queues are $30 per queue per month. So much lower charge to add an agent. All right, below agents, we have the devices. Basically just a breakdown of the devices you have on your account, broken out by type. Unregistered simply means the system doesn't know if they're connected or not. Usually for like a VoIP phone, that means we don't have an active connection. Could be it's disconnected, bad, there's a network problem, could just be off. You don't know. Over here to the right, main number. These are your main numbers. So these are numbers your customers dial to get to your system. These numbers all behave the same way, meaning that they route identically and they will have the same main greeting. Below that is the fax box number. This is where your inbound faxes will go to. Total numbers, basically these are all the phone numbers you have on your account. Assigned numbers means these are numbers that are in use, meaning they go someplace. Either their main number, their fax box number, they go directly to a user, they go directly to a queue, they go directly to a ring group, whatever. Spare numbers, these are numbers on your account that you're not currently using. You're still being billed for them. So like this account is being billed for quite a few phone numbers, because you only get, usually, most accounts you get 2 phone numbers as part of your plan. But spare numbers, they don't ring anywhere. You're just keeping them for future use. And then you have the breakdown, in this case, between U.S. local numbers, the DID, versus U.S. toll-free. The company directory, so these are just people on your system, and you can download that. The account ID, this is actually your account number. If you ever have to call in to, say, support or billing or whatnot, we're not going to ask you for your account ID number. We're going to ask you for your company name. But like if you need to email us, you can always include that, and we'll definitely be able to find your account. The account realm, you use this for programming a third-party VoIP device or for faxing out. Those are the primary reasons. And this new feature here is the store discount code. Basically, just for being a Dash customer, you get a discount code when you buy things through our store, usually hardware. And you can get this store right up here. Speaking of up here, caller ID. This is your account or company caller ID information. You do want this filled out. The company caller ID name is restricted to 15 characters, including spaces and special characters. This is an industry standard. Once you click Save Changes, this information gets sent to the various servers across the various carriers who support CNAME. This can take up to 72 hours or 3 business days. A couple things to keep in mind. There are carriers in North America who don't support CNAME. So if a call happens to route through one of those carriers, CNAME information will not go through. Even for those carriers who do support CNAME, if they're having some sort of heavy, unexpected heavy call traffic, or if they're having a maintenance window, the CNAME information is the first thing they drop. Right? Their primary concern is connecting the call, and then getting the caller ID, and then the company name. And then lastly, if you're making test calls for CNAME, cell phones are problematic for a couple of reasons. One, most cell phone providers, it's a paid service to have the caller ID name show up. So obviously, you have to be paying for it on the cell phone you're testing to. And then for any device that you actually can program contact numbers into, whatever the device has programmed will supersede anything we send. All right, down below that, we have the company emergency address, or E911. Basically, for your VoIP phones, if someone picks up, dials 911, this is the address that is sent to emergency services. So you want to make sure this is correct. And you can also set it up by device so that if you have employees in different locations, they can have the correct address. Hold music. This is your company hold music. You can upload media files to Dash, either .wav, .wav, or .mp3. Right now, you're restricted to 1 megabyte. A 1 megabyte MP3, for example, is about 5 minutes. Uh, because you're uploading to a phone system, you want to make sure that the file you upload is recorded in mono, not in stereo. A stereo file played over the phone, you get results in a lot of static. Basically, the hold music is for once a call is connected to a user and they put them on hold, that's the default music that they have. And users can have their own hold music. Hours, this will take us to a section of the main number, basically to get your hours of operation set up. So for a new sign up, you're defaulted to 24-hour open office, meaning you're open for business and calls are going to route to you or through your system. That doesn't work for everybody, and we understand that. So most people choose custom office hours. For each day of the week, you put a check that you're open, put a check mark. That opens up the boxes to the right there, and you set your office hours in 24-hour or military time. Obviously, if you're closed, you leave it unchecked. One nice little feature here is at the very bottom. If your whole office or business is closed for lunch, you can put a check mark here and put your lunch hours in. That way your system automatically will go into lunch mode at that time, and you click Save Changes. All right, next up we have office holidays. You can set your holidays up in advance. Right, under Add Holiday, a single day, obviously it's just one day, which is here, actually, President's Day. Right, once you don't need it anymore, you can hit it in the trash. Just bear in mind we don't have the year. So like next year, it's probably going to be the 20th. Right, I can just click Save Changes, and that way I already have President's Day ready to go. You can do a date range, which is down here for Christmas, right, the 22nd to the 26th. The one caveat for date range is you don't want to cover New Year's Eve and New Year's Day in a date range. That causes the system to go into closed mode. So just do New Year's Eve as a single day, New Year's Day as a single day, and then if you're off before or after that, then you can do a date range. And then lastly, you have an option for advanced. So this is this one up here. All right, the second Monday in March, we're closed. That's just our normal company retreat when we do it. And always save changes if you make any changes. Got incoming call handling. So this is how your system is handling phone calls that come in on your main numbers. All right, option one here, call comes in to the virtual receptionist. This is a link. And here's where you set up your routing. So on the left, this is your main menu. This is what people press on their phones to navigate through your phone system. You can go to groups. You can go to a single person. All right, you can go to directory. In this case, I'm going to a voicemail box. You can also go to a specific device, although we don't typically do that or recommend that, or even to a specific media file. Downside to a media file is once the media file stops, then the call is ended. Over here on the right, this is your main greeting. Right, you can just text to speech, you can type it in, click update, and it's good to go. You can upload your own file, again, .wav, .mp3. If you already have recordings, you can choose from any that are available. You can record it over the phone. This is a system expects you to use a VoIP phone. That's what it means by a registered phone. You can then call in, enter in that PIN number, and record over the phone. Now, for the record over the phone, it's tied to the tab that you're on. So I'm on the open hours tab. As long as I'm in open hours, that's the one I can record. If I need to record say my after hours or my closed hours, I need to make sure the system is in closed mode to record it over the phone. Professional recording services, we've partnered with another company called Snap Recordings. They have something like 100 voice actors to choose from. They have options of English and Spanish, actually various versions of English. They believe they also have French now, and then you can do bilingual English-French or English-Spanish. They have their own pricing. They have their own bundling. They deliver to you. And then down here, settings, this is actually also new. Basically, how many times do you want people to be able to hear your main greeting to retry, and then before the system goes to default? Basically, do you play it once? Do you play it twice? Enter the amount of numbers, and then go ahead and click on save. These other calling options, call comes in, goes to a user. Again, you can also have it go to a queue, a specific device, or a ring group, and then to the virtual receptionist. Basically, you're giving someone a chance to answer the call. If they can't, then it goes to the receptionist. Then the inbound caller can press another option. And this last option is, again, go to a person or a ring group or a queue. And if no one picks up, then you can send them to voicemail. All right, looks like no one has shown up, so I'm going to go ahead and end the training.